Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
Come on in here. I got dressed in the dark.
You guys, I love you, but I'm not going to climb over the table.
No, that's good.
That's just
I mean, look, Gandhi and Danielle and I brought in a massive unicorn just to welcome you to the show.
I saw someone told me I could take it home with me if I wanted to.
You know, you can deflate it and put it right under the seat in front of you on the airplane. I don't know.
Bold of you to assume that there's a space under the seat in front of me on the airplane.
Okay. Then inflate it on board. Just blow it up.
Could you imagine?
It may take an hour. Anyway, I woke up this morning, got dressed in the dark. I went, you know what? I saw Halsey like 4 hours ago. I'm not getting dressed up. I'm going to wear my sweats.
I love it. You look very nightmare.
Thank you.
You do.
We have to talk about Nightmare, by the way.
Okay.
You know, it's very rare.
You said that like I was in trouble.
You're not in trouble, not at all.
Okay.
It's very rare that I want to ask an artist, hey, what's this song about? Because I just want people to make up their own minds. Nightmare, this song, I do want you at some point before you leave to tell me what it's about. Because, I mean, the first time I heard it, it just kind of grinded my soul. It ground my soul.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You meant it to grind my soul.
Yeah. I can jump into it now or we can wait. You want me to wait?
Wait till, cause when you leave, we're going to play it. So
Love
I want you to talk about it.
Yeah.
Then we're like, okay, kiss, play it, and they'll love
it.
Hey, so it was just 4 or 5 hours ago. I saw you with BTS downstairs.
I know.
And Halsey just out of nowhere just surprises everyone. Just shows up. Hey, I want to say hi, and everyone was so excited to see you.
Which, by the way, is such an awesome feeling. Like.
What, surprising people?
Well, because I had, I had texted June. I had texted him like a couple of days before because they were playing MetLife in New Jersey, and I'm from New Jersey, so I was like, I am devastated that I can't be here for the show, you know. And we were both kind of was like, yeah, I'm not going to see you for so long, and we were both kind of just like me and the guys had all kind of like accepted the fact it'd be forever till we saw each other. And then I just like sneak in. I'm like, what's up? I'm here.
It was great.
And it made me personally feel really good because all their faces were like, oh my God.
It was like Christmas morning. They were so excited to see you.
Which made me obviously feel like, I'm awesome. They're so excited to see me. Because if I had walked in and it had been the alternative and they were like, oh, cool, I would have been like, oh, cool. I hate myself.
And another great thing about yesterday is they lighted the Empire State Building purple.
I know.
It's all purple for the BTS Army and BTS.
I got to see it on the roof with them.
So Halsey knows our building. She grabs them by the hands and takes them up the staircase. She knows how to get to the roof.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you know about rooftops in New York City.
Yeah,
You're up there doing some nefarious, awful things that we don't need to know about. But
yeah, I was gonna say I definitely need to know where all the rooftops and balconies are in any building.
And you guys, fresh air. It's all about fresh air. But you guys took great pictures with the purple Empire State Building behind you.
It was so beautiful, and I was also, I was trying to explain like how massive of a moment it is, because they obviously understand that it's a landmark like no other, especially in this, this part of the country. And I was saying, like, you don't understand. This is like, they do this for like the Olympics, okay? This is a big deal. And they're like, oh, it's like they've done it for you? And I was like, no. Definitely never done it for me. So, congrats.
But you don't have a color. They definitely have purple. We need a Halsey color. Should we vote?
I think I changed too much.
Chartreuse.
I actually, you know what? I'm into it.
Okay.
The hardest color to pronounce. Sounds like me.
I don't think you've ever been in here with the same hair color. And you've been here a lot.
I actually make it a challenge to never go to a place with the same look.
Nice.
I mean, do you actually go online and go, okay, I was at the Elvis Duran show.
Catalog it.
Bring me the Elvis Duran files.
I have like an assistant with like a giant log book of everywhere I've been with the look. That would be exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. I think I just like, I fall in love with looks when I'm in a mood or like, I'm feeling like a character or like a vibe or something like that. But it just changes so quickly.
But how great to be able to do that, though.
It's fun. It's really fun. I'm really lucky that I can pull off a lot of the. Well, it's arguable if I can pull off some.
Have there been a couple of near misses?
Oh yeah, big misses.
You look at when you're putting it on, you're like, this is great, and you look at the pictures the next day, and you're like, Halsey, what was I thinking? I've never seen you like that. So.
Well, that is really kind of you because I have seen me like that a lot of times.
But you are your worst critic sometimes, so
yeah, but sometimes something is just objectively super bad. Like I definitely did a red carpet in like a Bam Bam outfit once, where I was wearing like a tiger stripe 2-piece and I had my hair in like a yellow top knot, and I was like, you look like a Flintstone, dude. Like, how did you not catch that? How did you not catch that?
But they have their own cereal and vitamin chewable. So
and one day so will I.
I'm chewing on a Halsey chewable. I'm sure you already have edibles. Hey, question. You're a Jersey girl. We were talking about this earlier because, summertime is here.
Yes.
Do you remember like some of the funky, weird summer jobs you had when you were growing up?
Oh my gosh.
Mine was Baskin Robbins.
I was going to say I've done every pizza place, Rita's Italian Ice, out here. I actually miss Italian Ice so much.
We have it everywhere. We can always get you over there.
You say that, but if you're on the West Coast, like in LA, if you ask someone for an Italian Ice, they're like, a what? A water ice? I'm like, don't call it that. Don't call it that to my face.
Did you used to flip it over at the end? Because
the
best part's on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part to your ice.
The colorful sugar puddle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, Halsey is great at many things. If you go to our green room, you can see the drawing she did of my dog Max, which is, it's hanging there proudly. We love it.
It's like a doodle.
I love it. No, it's not.
That's more than a doodle.
It's like a doodle.
Let me tell you, she's an excellent chef. She surfs. She speaks French. She does hair. I mean, you're like prepared in case the music thing doesn't work. You're like, I'm going to do your hair while I cook you some spaghetti.
I was going to say, if you take out the snowboarding thing, you feel like she's a great cook. She speaks French. She does hair. I sound like an extra in Grease.
You sound awesome.
So, like,
I know, but
wow.
the reason I bring this up is I watch, you work a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, your brain, when you're not physically working, your brain is working. So I have to assume every once in a while you would love just to by yourself, crawl into the kitchen and rattle some pans and make something.
That's why I love cooking so much. It's like one of the least like cognitively demanding things I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things about me is I never measure anything when I cook, ever. That's how my grandmother did it, like an Italian grandmother from New Jersey, so she was never measuring anything. And it's one of those things where people always be like, how'd you get good at cooking? And I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of do it. It's like, I'm like an octopus. I have
just
like
know.
8 arms, like in the kitchen. I'm really brave. I don't measure anything. I also sometimes don't even taste my food before I serve it because I'm like, this will be good.
Yeah, and then is brave.
Yeah.
And then look at the table, it's like, whoa.
No, actually,
it always comes out great.
People are always really surprised. I think, sometimes people see me and they see like the tattoos and the hair and, they're like, they see some like degenerate. And meanwhile, I'm like wildly domestic, like have people over for like Easter parties and like make baskets for everyone. And like, I'm like making flower arrangements and cooking and bringing cupcakes to your daughter's second birthday.
It lets you exit off the highway for a few minutes and just be just another side of you. Me, I like to wash dishes. I mean, I'm a great cook.
Oh, I don't like to do that. See, my boyfriend does all the dishes.
I get lost in dishes because we need things like that.
Yeah.
One day I was having a bad day. I woke up in the middle of chopping up a pepper and I was making stuffed peppers. And I didn't even know I was there because cooking is so great. What are you bad at doing? Like what if you had to go to continuing education at Morristown Middle School?
Math.
Oh, well, who needs that? I mean, sorry, math teachers.
No, I'm so bad at math. I was like peak literature, civics, history, biology student, like all AP classes, you know what I mean? Freshman math as a junior. What's up?
Yeah.
Like, just couldn't figure it out.
I did that too. I failed twice in college.
Yeah.
Summer school. Remedial math again.
I was like the most confusing teenager because I was winning like literary awards for my essays and then literally taking algebra 3 times. Yeah. And it was like, if only you could just devote half your energy to both and you could be adequate at both. And I was like, I want to be really good at one.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
they should rethink that.
What's your go-to, like, impress someone meal?
Spicy rigatoni. Yeah, it's like heavy cream, tomato paste, garlic, oregano, sauteed onions.
How do you spice it?
So there's 2 ways to do it. You can use chili paste or chili flakes. I usually like using the flakes because then, I can add them towards the end, and the paste sometimes gets a little, like, if people don't like spicy, they're like, whoa. But it's my favorite meal at Carbone. in New York, and I don't come here enough. So I was like, I'm just gonna learn how to make it my damn self.
Carbone is amazing.
Do you watch MasterChef Junior?
Sometimes,
It's
yeah.
great. I can't believe how those kids cook.
Yeah,
I just can't believe someone's letting them all have those knives. I'm like, wow, okay.
Let's talk about the music. First of all, let's talk about touring. I mean, out on the road. I mean, we think, oh my God, you live in great hotels. Wow, what a glamorous life this must be. I'm sure it has its moments where you're just so satisfied, especially on stage, and when you see people singing along, and that. Where are you going next? What's left? What's left the rest of this summer for you on the road, Halsey?
Well, I'm gonna, keep bringing Nightmare to a bunch of places. It's like, I feel like time goes so quickly now in the music industry where we're like, oh yeah, cool, so your new single, it's been out, whatever. I'm like, well, it came out 4 days ago, so everybody slow down. I still don't want to talk about it. I'll put out some more new music, and just I'm putting the finishing touches on the album the next couple months, and getting ready for that to come out. And after that, it's gonna be, my gosh, I'm sure I'll be on the road for like 2 years.
Wait a minute, I must kind of question something. You're talking about how, we need new music, but Nightmare's been out for 4 days.
Yeah,
but I mean, we're still getting warmed up to Boy with Love. I mean, we're still warming up to that. I mean, we're much slower than you. You're cranking them out.
I have definitely mastered the many songs at once. You guys might know this, but I found out last year that I was the first artist to ever replace themselves at #1 on the radio.
Did you hate yourself for a moment there?
Yeah, I was like, come on, Ash. Ash is trying to win. No, it was really amazing. I've become, I think very, very good at having many songs out at once. And I actually like it better because it gives me the opportunity to kind of like diversify myself. Like if you watch the Boy at Love music video, I'm like pink and glittery and giggly and fun and laughing. And then if you watch the Nightmare music video, it's all very dark and kind of weird. And sometimes people will be like, oh, so which one's the real you? And I'm like, both. That's the fun part. You know what I mean? It's like they're both me.
Isn't it funny how people put you in boxes and they think, some people think, it's when they first get to know you, Halsey, they're like, okay, she is this, and she will always be that. So when you're something else, they're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But see, that's why you need to study your artists more. I can't, see, I have this thing where I'll go online and I'll look at one thing from Halsey, then I'll look at another, and I'll just keep going. By the end of my hour-long trip through Halseyville, I sort of get a profile of who you are and who you aren't. That's why it's better than just listening to one song and going, okay, that's them.
I really appreciate that too, because, sometimes I think, especially with the radio, like, sometimes people will listen to the songs that artists give them, and, those are the singles, and very rarely do they go and, like, listen to the album. And the album is always, like, a more expository, like, it's a little bit more background on what the perspective of the single is. And, especially with Nightmare, it's like, a lot of people have been like, oh, so you're doing the punk rock thing now. And I'm like, well, if you're paying attention, I've always been doing the punk rock thing. Like, I definitely have had more glittery moments at radio.
Right.
But I've also got albums full of platinum certified songs that are dark and weird and B-sides and like crazy stuff that my fans just love.
Well, that's why I'm starting my own radio station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just the B-sides.
We're calling it WTF. And I'm going to play what we want to play.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, because we walk in here every day and here's a list of 2 songs you can play. I'm like, no!
Okay, if you need a marketing plan, it's WTF, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And it's What the F Radio, but it's also With the Fans.
Oh.
2 points.
This is why I'm the boss.
No, you may be my co-program director.
Wait, speaking of the fans, you just paid for a fan speeding ticket.
I love that.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can you Venmo me $1,000 right now?
Like, is your Venmo open? Can I request some things?
After that happened, I did start getting lots of requests. Like crazy stuff. People would be like, I'm hungover. I want to buy a Gatorade. Can you send me $5? I'm like, what?
Actually, that's a very legitimate ask.
I know.
Okay, so trending today, other than me being yelled at by BTS Army fans.
Okay, I wanted to say something on that subject.
Oh, okay, you don't have to.
I want to, and I want you to know that it's not you. They're not upset with you. I think it's about maybe some of the other fans in the interview who had a name to say in a moment where they probably shouldn't have, in a moment where they could have been really, really supportive. So I don't want you to be hard on yourself because the Army really loves you and really loves the station.
Oh, I'm the Army uncle. You know that.
Of course. That's what I'm saying is that they're really supportive and they're appreciative that you guys are supportive about the song. So I hope they don't mind me speaking on their behalf, but it's definitely not about you. It's about, there's a level of, level of respect and gratitude that they're really, really fortunate to have developed amongst each other that maybe they didn't feel so much for a moment yesterday.
That's
but
okay.
They love it so much.
90,
and I'm
99%,
happy.
99% of the Army is totally happy with last night's interview. So
Totally. They're
I'm
the
okay.
best.
Okay.
And also it's because I showed up.
Yeah, there was
That's
that.
what it is. Put it over
You were the
edge.
icing on the cake.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Hashtag, another thing trending. Hashtags, if social media didn't exist.
Ooh.
Blank. Now, I'll give you a few examples of what I've said, what I've read. If social media didn't exist, I wouldn't be internet friends with so many cats.
Oh.
Would people still take photos of their meals? Question.
No.
Guys would be sliding into my fax machine. I would stalk my ex the traditional way, which, as you know, is parking outside their house.
Right, of course.
If social media didn't exist, people would be more interesting for themselves and not others. And if social media didn't exist, Halsey, this person says, how would I know there were naughty singles in my area? So for you, if social media didn't exist for Halsey, what would that mean?
If social media didn't exist, I would probably be more appreciated for my humor because it doesn't translate very well in text.
Yeah.
And if social media didn't exist, I would probably be a lot more. I would probably be a lot more free about sending lewd photographs.
Yes.
No, that's why it does exist. My answer was, if social media didn't exist, I would not exist. I don't think
also same. So definitely same.
All right, look. Before you run out the door, we're gonna play Nightmare coming up.
Yay!
After the break, but before you leave, tell us, Nightmare. For you, what is this very, 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 very important song about?
It's actually even exciting that I get to talk about it because, when I first wrote the song, I didn't actually anticipate radio being so on board to play the song. I was like, oh, shoot, this is like a little different for me, and it's kind of aggressive. This isn't really like an easy listening record, And so obviously the support is like mind-blowing in itself. But it also makes me really happy about the industry and like where we're at and like being supportive of these messages and these voices. When I was in the studio making Nightmare, I was kind of thinking about ways that my experience relates to that of my fans. There's some that will always be the same, and there's some that are obviously very different because I am a musician who lives in Hollywood. Like some of those things definitely set me apart from like Fan B in Oklahoma City. But one of the things I think that a lot of me and a lot of myself and other young female fans of mine have, or any female fan of mine has, is the experience of someone telling you to smile. This is especially fun for me to talk about in New York City because if you live here, then you know the feeling better than anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a 14-year-old girl walking home from school in your uniform. It doesn't matter if you're an 18-year-old girl selling coffee at a counter. It doesn't matter if you're a 24-year-old pop star on a red carpet. Hi. It doesn't matter if you're a 40-year-old politician about to do a debate. At some point, some man will look at you and will say, hey, why don't you smile? You're so frigid. She'd be so much nicer if she smiled. What a pretty face. You should just smile. And you're just like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And if you don't, then the narrative about you becomes, God, that girl's such a nightmare. Ugh, she's so difficult. She's such a nightmare. And I used to not like that. I used to be like, oh gosh, well, I don't want anybody to think I'm a nightmare. I don't want anybody to think I'm mean. I don't even think I'm rude. So I'd find myself in situations where I was smiling when I didn't want to smile, and I was being nice to people who probably didn't deserve it. And eventually I was like, you know what? No, not anymore. I would rather be a nightmare than let a bunch of jerks, get away with forcing me into some kind of complacency or some kind of convenience or positivity because they want to see it and it's for their own entertainment and it makes them more comfortable. And that was a moment where I went, it doesn't matter if you're, a famous person or any person, we can all relate to that experience. And that's kind of where Nightmare came from. It's like, we don't owe you anything.
That's so true.
That's, yeah.
What do you think of that?
Nothing makes me stank eye someone faster than them yelling at me to smile.
Oh, the cat
so I'm
call.
with you there. Yeah.
The cat call. It's 2019 and I'm writing songs about the cat call. Wow.
So with that said, now with that perspective, listen to Nightmare. This is Halsey. Halsey, thank you for coming in.
Yay, thank you guys.
Excellent.
The Mercedes AMG Interview Lounge.